Okay, yesterday we started the JPEG. So in JPEG, we have a DCT based methodology in which there is some loss occurring. So we need to go to MPEG. So actually we are looking at a digital TV, and this is all part of source coding. So in lossy JPEG, the steps were you decompose picture into blocks of 8 by 8 pixels, apply DCT, you get coefficients, you do thresholding and quantization, and then scan it. Apart from the DC coefficient, the other coefficients are zigzag scanned. Apply run length coding and apply variable length coding. These are the 6 main steps in lossy JPEG. This is used for images, compressing images. And compression of pictures, moving pictures or video, you have MPEG, Motion Pictures Expert Group. There are versions MPEG 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 4, etc. And we'll just discuss this basics. So it began with MPEG 1 and want to have a rate of this much. And what they do is video is a collection of images shown successively one after another. So you show more than that image corresponding to the persistence of vision. So if it is say 50 images per second, it is far exceeding persistence of vision, and you show many 50 images, actually 25 images, which are scanned in two fields. In field 1, you scan the alternate lines. In field 2, you scan the lines which were left in the first scanning, and one image you get 2 fields. Like that, we are getting 50 fields. So you show those static images one after another, which is more than that of this at the rate of persistence of vision, and then we get moving pictures, and 50 pictures are shown in 1 second, and there would be some redundancy, temporal redundancy between successive pictures which make up a video sequence. So we won't we will exploit these features by removing the redundancy in this MPEG. Between successive pictures, redundant things will remove. In addition to the video, you need audio also in TV broadcast. And this is MusicCam, is the algorithm of combining audio channels in MPEG 1, and it is used in European DAB, digital audio broadcasting. The DVB is digital video broadcasting. It uses MPEG 2, because MPEG 1 doesn't take into account interlaced picture. That left out field scanning is the interlaced scanning. That is not taken into account in MPEG 1, but nevertheless all the principles are covered in MPEG 1. So this difference is, this can be used for digital video broadcasting, MPEG 2. MPEG 4 is a more compression we are getting. So just we see the principles in MPEG 1. So MPEG 1 technique, the techniques, they exploit correlation between successive pictures. So whatever is redundant, we can just remove. We need not show in all these frames. So we use this technique, prediction with movement compensation. So actually you are having an algorithm which will predict something. And movement compensation is there because of some errors, some compensation. That word denotes something which you have to compensate. So that consists of deducing most of the pictures of a sequence from preceding and even subsequent pictures with minimum additional information representing difference between pictures. So between pictures, what is the additional information required between pictures? And you can even predict pictures from a given current picture. You can predict picture and even subsequent picture, all these things from preceding picture and even subsequent picture. It's using some prediction mechanism. We can do some estimation, and we can find what is the essential difference between pictures. So this requires movement estimator. So actually, video means some movement is occurring when compared to still pictures. So this movement estimator is a very complex function, some algorithm, some estimation or some prediction, and that actually determines the performance of this MPEG encoder. However, it is not required in the decoder. Only at the encoders you need all these things. At the decoder, it's not required. And decoding has to be accomplished in real time. And the more you have specialized hardware, the more fast things become. You can accomplish an activity in software as well as hardware. The more hardware you use, the more faster it becomes. Practical, actually, this realization of encoder is trade-off between speed, compression rate, complexity, and picture quality. You can trade off between these metrics and have a different parameters, and you can have a practical encoder. So all these things are factors, and there is a proper trade-off between this. You have MPEG 1, 2, MPEG 4, etc. Now, so here these are all pictures. These are all pictures, and there will be such 50 pictures in one frame, in 1 second. And the pictures are of three types. So one is an I type picture is shown here, a B type. This is intra, and this is a bidirectional, and this is P type. This is prediction. So from here, you are able to predict something. So that is this prediction type picture. And from here, you can even interpolate some pictures using forward and backward, some bidirectional. So these are certain pictures which are interpolated between from other pictures. So these are all the techniques used. There are three types of picture. This is a original picture like a JPEG. It is not from any other pictures. It's not based on any other pictures. This is our natural picture, whereas all these others are based on prediction. So three types of pictures are there. One is intra pictures. They are coded without reference to another picture. So they don't depend on any other picture. They are similar to our JPEG. JPEG is an image, and this image can be compressed using DCT techniques. So similar to that, we can have these I pictures. So they contain all information necessary for reconstruction at decoder. At the decoder, you can reconstruct it. Inverse of the 6 steps of this JPEG, you can use it for this I picture. They are essential entry point for access to video sequence. So when you start with a video sequence, you start with an I type picture, which contains all information, and it is similar to the JPEG compression, and you can decode it without any other extra information. So, however, the compression rate of I picture is low. This is comparable to JPEG. So compression of I picture is comparable to JPEG, which means JPEG the compression is not what we want. We want more compression because we are showing 50 frames in a second. So across frames, we want to exploit some redundancy. Now, predicted pictures are encoded from preceding I or P pictures. So P can be from an I picture, or they can be predicted from a P picture. They use motion compensated prediction. is normally a technique used, because across frame some portion will be static and some portion will be moving. So if a person is moving, the background would be there, only that person, that much of area would be moving. Other all frames, it would be the same. Actually, in 1 second, you are showing 50 such frames. So there is a lot of redundancy. So only that motion you have to capture, movement. So P pictures can be used as basis for next P picture, or an I picture can be a basis for next P picture. Motion compensation is not perfect. So there are some imperfections, so we won't have a continuous P pictures between two I pictures. To a great extent, we will not add the number of P pictures. We want P pictures because compression rate of P pictures is significantly higher than for I pictures. Our aim is to reduce as much as possible the information which is common across all the frames. Now, B picture is bidirectional or bidirectionally predicted. So it can be predicted from uh, the subsequent or preceding pictures. So it is like interpolation. Say from the preceding pictures or even from subsequent pictures, you can add and predict some picture. They are coded by bidirectional interpolation between I or P picture, either from an I or a P picture. Which precedes and follows them. As they are not used for coding subsequent pictures, B picture do not propagate coding errors. B picture offer highest compression rate. So such type of picture has a maximum compression rate. So we are not going into those algorithms. What we know, just want to know is we have certain types of pictures and certain types of pictures which are normal, like the JPEG picture, say I. So here there is a group of pictures in which a parametric n is 12. So between two eyes there are 12 pictures, two I pictures. So these could be P type pictures and these could be B type pictures. So the more B type pictures we have, the more compression we have. So here between two P type pictures, what is the number of images? It is 3, and that is a metric called M. So there are two metrics, one is N between two I pictures and M between two P pictures. However, this is I don't know why it is between I and this P. Normally it is defined between two P pictures, the distance is 3. So you have two B pictures between two P pictures, total distance of 3 between two P pictures here also, and between two I pictures you have a 12 pictures. These are combination of P and B. So depending on complexity of encoder, it is possible to encode I only, I and P, I, P and B pictures with different results. So you can have various combination. You can have only I pictures, you can have I and P pictures, I, P and B pictures, depending upon complexity of encoder. It's all algorithm based with different results. With regard to compression rate, we will have different results. Encoding time, with regard to encoding time, and with regard to quality also, you have different results. Now, M is distance in pictures between two successive P pictures. N is distance between two successive I pictures, defining a group of pictures. Group of pictures means the number of pictures between two I pictures, which are the normal pictures which you find in JPEG. However, for the sake of compression, we have P-type pictures and again B-type pictures. So the parameters, this is one set of parameters. There could be various set of parameters in which between two pictures we have 3 images. Between two I pictures you have 12 images. And normally video sequence is made up as follows. 1/12 of his pictures are I pictures, so 8.33%. 1/4 are P pictures, 25%, and 2/3 are B pictures, 66%. So this is a general combination of pictures. And global compression rate is maximized by the fact that most frequent pictures have highest compression rate. So the more frequent pictures are B-type pictures and which have more compression rate. And this, so you can have more compression using such type of a parameter used. Okay, M3, N12, and the percentage of I should be less, percentage of B should be more. This is one combination. So these are three types of pictures, and the okay, we'll come to motion prediction. So prediction, motion estimation, and compensation. So P and B pictures were predicted from preceding and or subsequent pictures. So P and B, B will can be from preceding and subsequent pictures. So and P is from preceding pictures. So they are predicted. So there is some amount of prediction. So in sequence of pictures, say, suppose there is a sequence of pictures. Moving objects lead to differences between corresponding zones of consecutive pictures. So this is the essence. So some object is moving. So here it would be at one place, here it would be at another place, here it would be at another place, and here it would be at another place. So only that we need to capture actually. So we need some motion estimation and a motion vector, etc. So that is what is going on in this p-type picture and estimate. So before coming to that, so our aim is to do some estimation of that that moving portion. So first step is to reorder the picture. So you need certain criteria to be met. So this is an order given for m equal to 3 and n equal to 12. So to encode a B pic, we need I or P preceding pic and I or P sub. So there would be a need for reordering, and accordingly we would reorder the sequence. So this is a reordered sequence. So what is required? So before P and before B, all these, based on this, they would reorder the pictures. And so this is the different video sequence layers. So in DCT, we had seen 8 by 8 pixels as a block. 4 such block forms a macro block. 4 blocks. This is 8 by 8 pixel within an image. 1 block. 4 blocks forms a macro block. And n macro blocks forms a slice, and P slices form a picture. So these are the different hierarchy or splitting up of video sequence. So this is a basic video sequence. The continuous sequence, frames one after another. അതിനകത്ത് ഗ്രൂപ്പ് ഓഫ് പിക്ചേഴ്സ് എന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ 2 ഐ തമ്മിലുള്ള 12 ഫ്രെയിംസ് ആണ് ഗ്രൂപ്പ് ഓഫ് പിക്ചേഴ്സ്. അതിൽ ഒരു പിക്ചറിൽ കുറെ സ്ലൈസുകളുണ്ട്. അതിൽ പി സ്ലൈസസ് ഉണ്ട്. ഒരു സ്ലൈസിൽ n മാക്രോ ബ്ലോക്ക് ഉണ്ട്. ഒരു മാക്രോ ബ്ലോക്കിൽ 4 ബ്ലോക്ക് ഉണ്ട്. 4 ബ്ലോക്കിൽ 8 by 8 പിക്സൽ ഉണ്ട്. സോ ദിസ് ഈസ് ദ ഡീകമ്പോസിഷൻ ഓഫ് എ MPEG video sequence into different layers. So this is the time, and you have a lot of pictures one after another, and you have a group of pictures, and then in one picture you have various slices, and in one slice you have various macro blocks, and in one macro block you have 4 blocks. So MPEG defines a hierarchy of layers within a video sequence. So sequence is the highest layer which defines the context valid for the whole sequence, the basic video parameters, etc. And group of pictures, so between 2 I pictures is the group of pictures. Layer determining the random access to the sequence, which always starts with an I picture. I picture ne where picture aayittu oru connection illa. It is independent. It can be decoded independent. And picture can be either I, P or B type. In group of picture 12 ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ആ 12 I, P യും B യും various types ഉണ്ട്. അതിനകത്ത് കുറെ സ്ലൈസ് ഉണ്ട്. കണ്ടിഗ്വസ് മാക്രോ ബ്ലോക്സ്, ensemble of slices cover whole picture without any overlap between slices. Without any overlap between slices, you add p slices, you get it will cover the whole picture. And a macro block, this layer is used for movement estimation. നമ്മളൊരു മാക്രോ ബ്ലോക്ക് വെച്ചാണ് സെർച്ച് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. പല പിക്ചേഴ്സ് വെച്ചിട്ട് ഒരു പർട്ടിക്കുലർ പോർഷൻ മൂവിങ് ആണോ എന്ന് മാക്രോ ബ്ലോക്ക് വെച്ചാണ് നമ്മൾ സെർച്ച് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. That is used for movement estimation and compensation. And block is a picture divided into blocks of 8 by 8 pixels. A macro block 16 by 16 ആണ്. അപ്പോൾ ഇത് 4 ബ്ലോക്ക് ഉണ്ട്. 4 ബ്ലോക്ക്, മാക്രോ ബ്ലോക്കിൽ 4 ബ്ലോക്ക്, ഒരു ബ്ലോക്കിൽ 8 by 8 പിക്സൽ. അപ്പോൾ ഇവിടെയാണ് നമ്മൾ DCT നടക്കുന്നത്. ബ്ലോക്ക് ലെവലിലാണ് DCT നടക്കുന്നത്. ഇത് ഓൾറെഡി നടക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. പിന്നെ ബാക്കി ഒരു അക്രോസ് pictures, we are doing some movement estimation by searching using a macro block. So here this denotes I picture, B picture, B picture, P picture. So ഇവിടെ ഒരു say some object is moving and relative position of this movement is motion vector, and how it is estimated. In a sequence of pictures, moving objects lead to differences between corresponding zones of consecutive pictures. So there is no obvious correlation between these two. So motion estimation consists of defining a motion vector which ensures the correlation between the arrival zone on second picture and departure zone on first picture using a technique known as block matching. So this block matching is done at a macro level by moving a macro block of current picture within a small search window from the previous picture and comparing it to all possible macro blocks of the window in order to find the one that is more similar. And differences in position of the two matching macro blocks give a motion picture. So this is how much you are searching, and this you are finding it out. And block matching will not be perfect, and motion vectors have to be relatively high amplitude. That is why difference or prediction error between actual block to be encoded and matching block is calculated and encoded in a similar way to the blocks. So this ഒരു compensation വേണ്ടി വരുന്നുണ്ട്. So this is the essence of the MPEG. അപ്പോൾ നമ്മൾ ആ അൽഗോരിതം എന്താണെന്ന് നമ്മൾ നോക്കുന്നില്ല. We will go to this block next class. So actually we have a video input and we have picture ordering as required for IPB pictures, and there is something called motion estimation, and we get motion. ഇതിന്റെ ഡീറ്റെയിൽസിലേക്ക് നമ്മൾ പോകുന്നില്ല. ഇതാണ് ഒരു ബ്ലോക്ക്. അതിനകത്ത് അപ്പൊ ഇതില് മൂവ്മെന്റ് നമ്മൾ നോക്കിയിട്ട് ഇവിടെ നമ്മൾ ഒരു exploiting the movement, and we will find only the varying portion here, and other things are same. DCT എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ നമ്മുടെ JPEG ഉള്ളതാണ്. പിന്നെ ക്വാണ്ടൈസേഷൻ, പിന്നെ വേരിയബിൾ ലെങ്ത് കോഡിംഗ്. ഇത് പല ചാനൽസിനുള്ളതാണ് മൾട്ടിപ്ലക്സർ. എന്നിട്ട് ഇവിടെ ഒരു ബിറ്റ് റേറ്റ് റെഗുലേഷൻ ഉണ്ട്. അത് വിൽ സീ ഇറ്റ് ലേറ്റർ. So this is just to get an idea of what is happening, and we'll see in bit detail because many other things are connected along with this. So fundamentally you need to know that the MPEG will exploit this redundancy between successive pictures which make up a video sequence. And MPEG 1 we are looking at, and there is some disadvantages with MPEG 1. It is not taking into account the interlaced pictures, and MPEG 2 is the normal standard for digital video broadcasting. And they exploit this correlation between successive pictures, and they make use of some movement estimation, and this is required only in the encoder. So this is the basic thing, and we'll come to the block diagram tomorrow.